Hello, lovely people. I hope you all have been doing exceedingly well. English for All has technically, practically disappeared from YouTube for a good while, and the reason isn't very pleasant. But all said and done, we are again back on the groove. And in this video, I wish to talk about something very, very important. Excuse me for not having a very perfect setup for that, but all you have is me and my words, and try to follow these and see if these could help you in understanding your areas of improvement better. So without wasting much of our time, let us start. In this video, I am primarily going to talk about what I do professionally. And the intention is not to promote myself, more so it is to tell you that what is it that you should be working towards. So, most of you know me as an English language trainer, and if you have ever noticed, I particularly make sure that I identify myself as a communication trainer. Now, what is the difference between communication and language? When I'm talking about communication, I'm talking about both sorts of communication, verbal as well as non-verbal. And language is just one of the very minuscule unit of verbal form of communication, whereas non-verbal form of communication entails many other things as well that people are not very often talking about, not in India per se. And this is the domain that I have practically tried to navigate through in my entire 2020. It has shaped out well, but I'm pretty sure that there is greater scope for this domain. Anyhow, let's begin with communication and its definition. Communication primarily means conveying certain thoughts. Now, conveyance in the most generic and in the most conventional and understandable form happens through words. I speak, you listen, and a communication takes place. But that is not the only way we are communicating something. We are also communicating through multiple other things, through our body language, through our eyes, through our smile, through our facial expressions, through our confidence or lack of it, and our overall personality. So let us try to look at all these units separately and see where are we lacking and what we can do to improve those things in our overall demeanor. Starting with language. Number one, of course, language is very, very important because no matter how attractive you are to look at on the exterior, but when you open your mouth and you are not able to talk sense and you are not able to talk properly, somewhere you lose those brownie points. And that is where language comes into the picture. Language is very, very important because it tells the other person about your education, about your experience, about your exposure, and to a certain extent about your civilization per se, no matter whether we would like to accept it or not, but the way you talk actually tells a lot about how literate a background are you coming from. So that is why language is very, very important. Number two is also language, but not the verbal one. It is body language. Like I just said in my introduction, body language is not just about, the way you dress up. It is a sum total of your expressions, your gesticulation, and everything in between. Okay, so when you enter the room, how confident you are. Do you wear clothes that complement your personality, or do you wear clothes just to impress others while you fail to express yourself in the process? So body language is a sum total of your control on your body, your control on the kind of response you exude from the people you meet. So the way you roll your eyes, the way you smile, the extent to which you smile while talking to certain people, your facial expressions, your tendency to keep touching your face while talking or putting your hair, behind your ears, all these things connote lack of confidence. So it's very, very important to learn certain things about body language and how does it tell much more about us than we would ever be able to know through conventional modes. Okay, number three is confidence. Now, if you have good language and you have good and controlled body language, you definitely will emerge as a more confident person. Now, confidence has nothing to do with perfection because perfection is a myth anyway. Confidence has got a lot to do with how do you perceive yourself. Are you comfortable in your body? Are you comfortable with the way you talk? Are you convinced about your ideas and your facts? When you talk to people about certain things, how sure are you of what you are saying? All these things are very, very important and worth paying attention to while you're talking about enhancing your confidence. Confidence comes with knowledge. Knowledge comes with practice, and practice happens in a controlled, in a regulated, in a well monitored environment. And that is why you need certain classes, and that is why you need certain expert guidance who can tell you how to be confident in a practical and more realistic manner. The next thing in the list is personality development. I often talk about personality development on multiple forums. I have given my live sessions on multiple platforms so far. And everywhere I always talk about personality as being that entity which enters the room before we enter ourselves. So our personality is again a sum total of our language, our body language, our confidence, our facial expressions, and most importantly, our perception about the self. What unique texture do we carry with ourselves when we enter the room? What is our USP? That is our unique selling point. Okay, so what is different about you? Don't try to be one amongst the crowd. Try to highlight or illuminate that trait that differentiates you from the rest of the people. So your personality consists of things like your dress up, your hairstyle, your makeup if you're a woman, and your general hygiene if you are a male. All these things give you confidence, and the more confident you are, the better personality you'll have. So again, it's not rocket science. It's very easy to establish connection between these two things. All of these things, your language, your body language, your confidence, and your personality, overall sums up to your self-belief, right? At the end of the day, no matter how fluent you are in your language, and no matter how shabby an appearance you carry in journal, you need to know that you matter and that not everybody is out there to judge you. So you need to be comfortable in your skin. You need to be comfortable in yourself. That doesn't mean that you will just stop improving yourself, that I really don't need to work on myself and I'm already perfect. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to tell you is understanding yourself in its entirety and accepting the need to change, accepting the need to evolve, letting opportunities seep into your life, identifying opportunities, identifying the right kind of people, approaching them, being less apprehensive and more optimistic. This is what self-belief is all about. When I talk about self-belief, I'm not talking about being impudent or arrogant or unaware of your shortcomings. What I'm talking about is embracing yourself the way you are and allowing yourself the ability, the possibility to change. I believe as we are moving towards New Year, it's an excellent time. It's an amazing time to start contemplating upon what has gone wrong with your personality or with your language in the preceding year, and what might have gone right had you worked on these things earlier. But anyway, never say never, and it's better to go late than not to go at all. So as my final word, guys, if you feel that you want 2021 to be the year in which you finally get rid of your inhibitions and in which you emerge as a more confident, more methodical and more organized version of yourself, do reach out to me. I will be so happy to assist you by whatever means and in whatever capacity I can. I look forward to seeing your messages. Take care and have a lovely day ahead. Bye-bye.